Very good afternoon to all our viewers. You have tuned into Market Fatafat on ET Now, a show where we tell you all the stocks that are buzzing either on the back of the news flow or on the back of the technicals. I'm Shrishti Sharma and with me Cheryl D'Souza, and in a short while from now we will connect with our team of researchers as we'll also joined by our technical expert and know that which stocks are on his radar. But before that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. So Cheryl, not much action on the benchmark indices. We are still holding that 20,000 mark on the Nifty 50, but for the Bank Nifty, mere gains of around 50-60 points.
Right. Very good afternoon to you, Shrishti. If you look at the markets, we did start with a good gusto. We saw the markets actually hit a fresh record high levels in today's trading session. It was the first time today that Sensex actually surpassed the previous record high levels that it had crossed on July 20th. But from there on, we've actually given up gains. And the first one to give up gains was actually Nifty Bank, because that one actually slipped into the negative territory much before the benchmark indices did. But then from there on, Nifty Bank has tried to recover. Remember, the winners of yesterday's trading session, that is the PSU Bank Index, they were the one that were tad bit subdued initially in the initial part of the trading session. But now they've actually recovered 1% uptick coming in for the PSU Bank Index. Let's take a look at what the broader markets are doing, because once again they've gone back to their winning ways. They are actually outperforming the benchmark indices with quite a margin. If you look at the small cap index there on your screen, 1% uptick coming in for the small cap index. Look at Nifty Bank, 7-10% uptick coming in for Nifty mid cap index. That's the one seeing uptick of as much as 1% as well. So yes, good going for coming in for the broader markets. Let's break it down and let's see what the sectoral indices are doing. Before that, let's take a look at the advanced decline ratio, because if you look at the advanced decline ratio from the word go, it has been very much tilted in the favor of the gainers, and that's how it is actually persisting to be. Talking about the sectoral performers then in trade is the metal index that is actually moving and powering ahead in today's trading session, 1.8% coming in for the metal index. It is a top sectoral performer in trade today, and one of the reasons why metal index is performing so well is, yes, a slew of upgrades coming in for some of the metal counters. You have NMDCs that's gone ahead and hiked price, but apart from that, you have China, the Chinese steel producers have actually gone ahead and increased their production. So on back of that, you're seeing some sort of an optimism creep in for these metal counters. Also, if you look at tomorrow, you will have some China economic data also coming in, and initial polls are indicating that the Chinese economic data will be on a better side. So on back of that, you have metal index that is actually powering ahead in trade today. But apart from the metal index, let's take a look at which are the other sectoral gainers. Then yes, PSU Bank Index is up 1%. You have Realty Index also back to its winning ways, 1.3% uptick coming in for Realty Index. Auto Index also seeing good strength. IT Pharma also holding on to the positive territory. But the one that is in the negative territory as of now and while we speak is FMCG Index, 0.3% downtick coming in for FMCG Index. Also, you have Media Index that's seeing mild bit of weakness in today's trading session. So that's the way how the markets are transpiring. Also, take a look at what the paint counters are doing, be it Asian Paints, Berger, as well as Kansai Nerolac, given the fact that you have now Aditya Birla Group going ahead and announcing the fact they are going to be going ahead with that launch of the paint business under the brand name of Birla Opus. So you have the paint counters that are in focus, especially Asian Paint. It was among the top loser when it came on the Nifty. So that's the way how the markets are transpiring as of now. So that's the way how the markets are looking like. There you go, Asian Paint, 1.3% downtick coming in for that particular counter. And yes, metals is the one that's winning in trade today, Shrishti.
Okay, Cheryl, thank you so much for putting in context at how the markets are panning out currently. But with this, viewers, let's move forward and connect with the management of RailTel. Onto the show, we are being joined by Sanjay Kumar, Chairman and Managing Director at RailTel. Very good afternoon, Sanjay, and thank you so much for joining us today on ET Now. Firstly, I wanted to talk that in the last 2 months, RailTel's share price has seen a surge of 62%. And if we look at the shareholders, then that would definitely be happy with this development. But could you please explain us to fundamentally what has changed for RailTel over the last 2 months?
We have been doing a lot of activities recently. We got a 10-year award from Pimpri Chinchwad Municipal Council for monetizing various fiber assets which have to be laid and then monetize them in that territory. Then recently, that is the most, I would say, important for us to share with you and with our investors also through your channel, that we are proud to be integrated telecom service provider for G20, which has recently been held in ITPO Delhi on 9th and 10th September, where who's and who's of the world were there. And this event, as far as communication requirement, Wi-Fi, internet, telephone, mobile connectivity and all, it was perfectly fine, and it was a great, I would say, success for RailTel as a company. And of course, we never felt that we are working for RailTel.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kumar. This is Cheryl also joining in the conversation. And let's talk about some more numbers. At the end of Q1, your order book was somewhere around 4,500 crore rupees. If you could tell us, where does it stand currently for you? Also, has there been any increase, any incremental order wins that you're witnessing? Because we've seen a lot of gusto come in the railway segment, isn't it?
So as I told you, we have recently got a 700 crore, approximate 700 crore order value over a period of 10 years from Pimpri-Chinchwad Municipal Council. There are others. So this last 6 months, we have got around 1,300 crore total order values.
Mr. Kumar, if we talk about the railway budget related to signalling, then that was around rupees 1 lakh crores. So just wanted to know that have the orders have started to flow in for this particular segment, and has RailTel put in any order in this particular segment, and how much that could RailTel realistically look having the pie of the cake? How do you see this segment growing for yourself?
See, this 1 lakh crore budget of Indian Railways is going to flow through next 4 to 5 years at least. So tenders and all those things will start coming. They are under preparation in the Ministry of Railways. They are coming out slowly, but they have not yet. We have participated in a few 2 to 3 small tenders, but bulk you will see maybe another 5-6 months will start coming out, and those will of course be delivered through in next 5 to 6 years, 4 to 5 years time frame. There's a huge opportunity for RailTel also, as I told in our previous interaction also.
Right. Mr. Kumar, let's talk about the next 5 to 6 months. If you could give us an outlook as to what sort of orders are you likely to see to be floated by the government or other players? What sort of orders are you likely to see? And also the fact being, for how much of these orders is RailTel actually betting on?
See, this I can't say right now, because these are the bids. We have to participate, we have to see the competition, we have to bid in those tenders, and then right now I cannot say what kind of value of tenders are going to come, but certainly these tenders will start coming 6 months from now. So this financial year, I don't see too many works of this sort, but whatever works we are doing, we already have for signaling. We are expecting to complete those works. Like Northern Railway, we are working around 110 crore signaling work in Northern Railway. Another tunnel communication work, we are working in various railways, including Northern Railway, Central Railway, and Southwestern Railway. So those works are also likely to be completed, which are roughly 300 crore. So we have good amount of work already with us to complete, and such similar opportunities are also likely to come in Northeast Frontier Railway, that is 7 sisters in Northeast. There are also a couple of opportunities. They are due shortly, so we will participate in those tenders. I cannot give a number, but certainly will clinch, not big, very big, but next 6 months, I can say roughly 150 to 200 crore of value of orders we can expect.
Okay, Mr. Kumar, I just wanted to bounce back to the last talking point that was signaling. And in this particular segment, I just wanted to understand from you, how do you see the competition building in? Who could be your competitors? How do you see the competitive scenario, as well as are you also looking for any sort of a tie-up wherein 2 or 3 companies jointly can go and bid in for this particular segment?
Very good question. Because in signaling right now, there are very limited number of players, and the amount of work which is coming up. So we have a good opportunity. Siemens is there, Alstom is there, uh, L&T is there. Uh, there are players, Ashoka Buildcon. So there are players already there, but back of the at the back of these system integrators, number of OEMs are very little, very less. So I'm sure that Make in India initiatives and other things will increase the will basically encourage the new players also on OEM side to join. And we are actually in discussion with the few OEMs who are likely to, or who are thinking of joining this industry, who already have something with them in some other countries, and we think that they are right, not might, they are thinking to join hands with RailTel and Make in India. They are willing to join Make in India efforts and start producing in our country also. So there are few foreign OEMs who are in talks with us, who are not yet present in our country.
Right. Let's switch focus and let's talk about project Kavach, because last that we know of is that your company did not participate in any of the orders. Have you actually worked upon that to try and engage with OEMs in order to get a technical know-how of this particular project, or how to go about such sort of orders?
So talks are still going on, because there are only 3 RDSO approved vendors right now, and one of them is not in good shape. I will not name. So practically there are only 2, but one more is likely to get approved very shortly in another maybe 2 to 3 months timeline. So we are talking to all the 3, and we are sure that before any tender comes out, we will be having a good uh, number of partners with us. The other 2 or these are 3, and another 2 are in the pipeline, but that will take time. So we are in discussion with all of them.
Mr. Kumar, if you could just tell us that what could be the potential order win from Kavach?
See, Kavach, as far as I think last interaction also I shared with you, that a bare minimum which we are expecting is 5 to 6,000 crore over next 5 to 6 years. And if we are able to successfully implement, which I am sure, this number can be 10 to 12,000 crore also.
Right, now let's talk about numbers, Mr. Kumar. In Q1, your revenue growth was approximately 24%. A very simple question, will you be surpassing that in Q4, in Q2, as well as the rest of FY24? And if possible, if you could give us some numbers to work around with for your revenue and EBITDA growth for this fiscal year.
FY24, we are targeting again same 25% of 2,500 to 2,700 crore of revenue, which will be very safely, I can say 25% plus growth this financial year over last financial year.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kumar, for joining us today on ET Now. With this, we'll let you go and wishing you all the best and for RailTel. But with this, viewers, let's move on onto the show and coming back to Market Fatafat, where we are going to be highlighting in the next 30-40 minutes that all the stocks that are buzzing either on the back of the news flow or on the back of the technicals. And with this, let me welcome on board our researchers for today. We are being joined by Ashesha as well as Ankita, and onto the technical front, very good afternoon, Kunal, as well. But with this, let's move on to the first counter there. And Kunal, this one is for you. NMDC, the metal pack is shining bright, and even NMDC is showing decent moves today. So what exactly on the charts you are looking forward on NMDC?
Good afternoon, Srishti and everyone. So NMDC is a breakout candidate. The stock has confirmed a breakout of a swing pattern or a swing resistance, crossing the 3-day, 4-day swing high for itself about the 145 odd mark for NMDC. Looks very attractive in terms of the setup. The volumes in the last 4 or 5 days, even on the time when the stock had corrected and then gone to a V-shaped recovery, the volumes have been extremely high. The indicators have crossed back above the positive territory for NMDC in the last 2 days of recovery, and with the prices making a new swing high, I think this could just add as more of a strong breakout candidate over the near to medium term. So bullish on NMDC and expecting that this could be a strong and as well as a sustainable breakout move for this mid-cap name.
All right, strong and sustainable move is what Kunal is saying for NMDC. But NMDC was in news today as well. Yes, like I mentioned, rest of the metal pack is also pretty much upbeat in trade. But NMDC today has actually gone ahead and hiked the prices. Actually, when it comes to the fines by about 300 rupees per ton, and on back of that price hike, you saw the stock actually be excited in trade today. But apart from that, you also had a note that came out from ICICI Securities, which has actually given a target of around 180 rupees per share on NMDC that they have raised from 130 rupees per share. And not just that, what ICICI Securities has done is they have actually upgraded the stock to a buy rating as well, increased their also estimates for the EBITDA coming in for NMDC. So all of these positive factors also playing for NMDC in today's trading session. On back of that, you can see NMDC that's trading higher by about 4% as we speak.
Okay, moving on to the next counter then, and Ashesha, coming to you for Bombay Dyeing. This has to be the stock of the day since the start of the day, holding on to the stellar gains, although has come off from the day's highest point, but nevertheless still up around 11%. Tell us the news flow.
Well, yes, it is off the day's highest point, but as you mentioned, gaining nearly 11.5% as we speak. So the company yesterday said that they've approved the proposal to sell the land parcel of about 22 acres here in Worli, Mumbai. This has been done for a total consideration of about 5,200 crores, which will be received by the company in 2 phases. Company will receive about 4,675 crores in phase 1. And the balance 525 crores will be received upon completion of certain conditions. So on the back of this news, the stock is gaining in trade today. Remember, apart from this, the company also said that they have approved development of unutilized land parcels, which is available with the company. The company said that it can create about 3.5 million square feet, and it has the potential to generate revenue of about 15,000 crores over the next few years. The company also clarified that the development will be planned judiciously in phases to manage company's cash flows efficiently. So on the back of this, 2 news pieces that have come in, one that they've sold the land parcel, and second that they will be generating revenues from unused land parcels. The stock is gaining in trade today, 11.5% higher in trade.
All right, so that is the take coming in on Bombay Dyeing, why this one is the stock of the day. But Kunal, let's talk about NoSil and why is this one in the spotlight? Or rather, how are the charts looking for this particular stock, given the fact that it is in spotlight, or at least on your spotlight?
No, so the stock is confirming a breakout in the weekly charts in terms of the indicator. Now the stock has crossed above the previous hurdle resistance of 238 on the spot basis. And I think the volumes last week was one of the best volumes for NoSil, I think compared to the last 9 or 12 months, 9 to 11 months for the stock price, which means that price, volume as well as indicators, all 3 of them are confirming a breakout for the stock, expecting this to be a decent up move as well as a sustainable breakout for NoSil as well.
Okay, moving on, and Ankita, coming to you, the next counter that you have, we don't discuss much about, but Fusion Micro is the counter that you have picked up and showing good moves today. Tell us what's interesting in this one.
That's correct, Shrishti. Fusion Micro is buzzing in trade. It is up almost 3.4%, 3.5% in trade. It is coming on the back of a note that Investec came out with, and they are maintaining, they have initiated a buy on the counter with a target price of 780 rupees per share. Now, they feel that the industry is pretty resilient and the structural developments are creating a strong outlook. They also feel that Fusion has a prudent expansion strategy, and they're expecting strong AUM growth of around 25% CAGR and profitability of around 20% ROE over the next 3 years. And on the back of that, they have initiated a buy on the counter, and we are seeing the impact on the stock. The stock is up almost 3.5% in trade.
All right, next up, let's talk about Bank of Baroda then. Kunal, how is this one looking on the charts to you? We've seen a stellar up move that's coming about in these PSU bank counters. But Bank of Baroda, do you think this one stands out? It will be able to maintain its up move, 32% in 6 months?
Well, yeah, and I think today the stock has made a fresh swing high, breaking past about the 210 mark. I think this was the high the stock had made a couple of months back when it took resistance, and then the stock corrected for itself. But I think this could be a sustainable breakout for Bank of Baroda as well. Now the rationale is very clear that most of the PSU banking stocks are showing a very synchronized kind of a breakout move. Price, volume, indicators, all three of them moving in sync for the stock from the rally which started off in 2022 second half, where many of the PSU banking stocks gave returns of 1.5 to 2x in a short span of time, and then took a pause for 4 or 5 months from start of 2023. Many of these stocks are now confirming that breakout and coming past about the 2022 highs for themselves. So this could be a very strong case of turnaround for stocks like Bank of Baroda. And generally we've seen that the second leg of uptrend is one of the most stronger and sustainable uptrend for stock prices. So expecting the same for Bank of Baroda, extremely bullish over the near to medium term.
All right, that's Bank of Baroda. A case of a turnaround story is what Kunal has to say. But let's talk about Hindalco, and that one has hit a 28-month high in today's trading session. Like the rest of the metal pack, similar reasons why Hindalco is buzzing. But there's another reason too. You have Axis Capital that has come up with a note on Hindalco, where they have given it rather initiated a coverage with a buy rating on the stock, and the target that they've set is 585 rupees per share. What they're saying is that Hindalco is well placed structurally, and the end market outlook looks good, and this will be led by growth in the electric vehicles. They're also saying the earnings volatility is reducing on back of the increased share in the downstream business in the operating profit of the company. So all in all, Axis Capital giving a thumbs up to Hindalco, so much so that they've gone ahead and initiated a buy coverage with a target of 585. And as you can see, the stock soaring in trade today, 4% uptick right now on an intraday basis, hit a 28-month high.
Okay, moving on, and let's shift focus to one of the PSU counters, that is BEL, on the back of the news flow that Delhi Metro Rail Corporation as well as BEL has inked a deal to develop indigenous communication-based train control system, and that's the news flow coming in on BEL. Both the companies in the statement said that they are looking forward to this collaboration, as well as it will open the gateway to the new technologies where they both will be working on. And on the back of this particular news, the stock did open in the green, but is now seen to be holding flattish right as of now, holding with the gains of just 0.2%.
All right, that's BEL for you, but let's shift focus. Let's talk about another metals player, and that is Tata Steel. 52-week high is what it actually hit today, Kunal. And how are the prospects looking for Tata Steel? Do you think it'll scale new highs day after day now?
This seems like a huge breakout for Tata Steel because it's coming out after 2 years of consolidation. So 2021, I think August or September, October is where the stock had entered into a corrective mode. It made a high, I think at that time close to 140, 145 for Tata Steel, and then in the process of the last 2 years of this correction, the stock had corrected to sub 100 levels also. So it's been a time as well as a price wise grinding correction for a stock like Tata Steel, but now it seems that the stock has come out of this downward phase. It's managed to make a pattern of higher highs and higher lows. Indicators on the weekly as well as on the monthly chart, specifically the RSI, is showing a lot of strength for Tata Steel. And then gel up with the fact that most of the other stocks in the metals as well as the commodity space have been looking quite charged up. So I would expect this to be a strong case of a turnaround. And what you've seen over the last few days of 52-week high for Tata Steel, I think it should probably result into a possible fresh high for the stock over the next few weeks.
Okay, but with this, let's shift focus to the financial planning that can provide us with a roadmap for a safer, better financial future. And on to the latest episode of SBI Mutual Fund Presents Invest Smart Mutual Funds के साथ our experts shed light on the significance of financial management, particularly for those who operate in the legal sector. Discover how legal professionals can secure their financial futures and make informed investment decisions in this exclusive excerpt.
I want to understand how do you deal with the income irregularities, and because of that, the investment irregularities that lawyers would have. How do you deal with it?
Once you write your household budget and you decide that minimum how much you require every month, so you can decide your cash flow accordingly. You save that much money at least for future months also. So that is very important for any profession who do not have a even cash flow.
Today, if you look at, finally it's a hard-earned money. So first thing is that we need to ensure that the money is secure. Sure. Whether we invest in a debt fund or whether we invest in an equity fund, finally we need to look at what is our investment horizon. Sure. Even if people who have retired, and people always think that after 60 years, it is only for the next 2-3 years I need to plan. But actually, if you look at, even after 60 years, they need to plan for next 20-25 years.
Watch out the entire episode for more insights. Tune in today at 4:30 p.m. And in case you missed today's episode, then no worries. Sunday, 17th September, 7 p.m. is when you can catch that exclusive interaction. But on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. When we come back, we'll tell you more stocks to watch out for. Don't go anywhere.
With Axis Bank now, there are triggers, and those triggers, if they move in the right direction,